I gonna waste my damn time on this Asian bridal industry anymore? No. Are you gonna be stuck with the same faces? Yes. So that's on you.
Hi guys, welcome to Naeem Drop Live, the one we have all been waiting for. Guys, I'm super pumped, super excited for this because I have got one of my best friends, Zahra, who was the winner of Natural Beauty 2017 Top Model, is going to be joining me today in our live session. She's going to be talking about her career, her journey, how our friendship, how we got to know each other and the struggles we've gotten both faced together in the industry. She's my fellow top model winner, so I'm really excited to have her with us. So if anyone has any questions as you're joining in with the live, then please obviously feel free to ask away. And even now, whilst we're waiting for, if you guys have anything in mind that you would want to sort of talk about, then of course then feel free to join in. So hello to everyone who's joining. Those who may not be able to join, I will be uploading all of this live on my YouTube channel, hopefully later tonight at Naeem Drop, and we can go from there. So I think Zahra has actually joined the chat, so let me just try and invite her in. Hello!
Hi!
Hello, Miss Sheikh.
Oh my god, finally, this is actually working. I feel like we've been trying to get this on board for the last 4 months, I swear to God.
At least the last 4 months, because Miss Thing here cannot stop traveling the world, and therefore we never have any decent reception, or we never manage to connect. By the way, those people that have joined, can you just let us know, is the sound okay?
Yeah, please let us know, because honestly, I've tried my ring light in every room of the house now, just to see if it works or not.
Yeah, so guys, if it's so okay, fantastic. Minardi says we're good. So hi to everyone joining, those who have just joined.
Hi, Arjun.
Yeah. So we are like Zahra. I was just thinking this before. By the way, can I just say how telepathic are we? Can we just say that we did not coordinate the black tops?
We actually did not coordinate.
So this has just happened, guys. So this is how much we're on a level we can even know what we know.
Definitely. I feel like this is what best friends are about, definitely that mind to mind,
Speaking of which, let's get straight to it. And I just want to let everyone know, those people that are just joining us now, that we were trying to figure this out, right? I think we obviously met in 2017, right at the beginning of 2017 or end of 2016. And I remember it was at a casting that we first met. I think we had some mutuals, so I used to see you on social media, etc. And then I think in person I met you at this casting, and I think when you go to castings, you just start talking to other models, right? And you just start sort of speaking to everyone that's there because you're all in the same situation. Yeah. And we just connected, right? We just connected.
Definitely. Definitely.
And everything we had to talk about, you're like, I was thinking the same, or I'd be like, I was thinking the same. And then literally we met at a show maybe a couple of weeks later, got on even more. And our friendship just went from there, right? So
definitely. I think that was definitely one of the highlights of my London trip, because obviously, I don't know if you guys know, I moved there for an acting degree and I was there for 3 years. So I was there from 2014 to 2017, something like that actually. And I think 2016 we met, and that's when I kind of fully got into the Asian industry and things like that. So yeah, so I moved there for an acting degree, and that's when I, became friends with you. And I'm glad that I did, because I feel not many Muslims are there in our industry, I feel. We get judged a lot and things like that. So, I think it was really good for me to meet a lot more Muslims from the Asian industry, because, I got to connect to you guys. And I think that was a really good highlight for me, definitely.
Totally. So I know you came to do your acting degree here. So just to give everyone a bit of background. So I think a lot of time acting comes hand in hand with modeling, right? So like, so is that how you kind of fell into the world of modeling too, or did you
You
always want to
know, the
model at
thing
the
is,
same
right,
time?
like, uh, the comments, hilarious.
Guys, I was just reading the comments as we were talking, and like, obviously you're gonna have haters. It like, guys, we're models,
Hi,
like
Shredder.
we're actors, right? Like we're used to getting hate and shit on social media. So
You
like
know what?
anything
Like,
that's
yeah,
coming through here,
I
that's
get the
hate is
whole
literally. I'm just like,
comments
can you see that?
all the
Like
time.
I'm not even
Whisk
raging. It's
away,
just like,
my friends. You know, so go ahead. Okay, so yeah, no. So okay, the thing with the industry is I've always wanted to be a model. So this was not new. Like I've always wanted to be an actress. I've always wanted to be a model, and I think I implemented a lot of that into my life after I went to London because I grew up in Hong Kong, and honestly, Hong Kong is a very racist city. And I know people don't like to admit it, because it's home and but I just feel like Hong Kong is like that, and it sucks because I tried really hard, and I felt like I never really connected with the city or anything. I did try a couple of shoots, but I definitely was young, and I wasn't known a lot, So I feel like my modeling career and my acting career definitely kick-started when I got to London. It was a great international experience. I mean, I won Top Model UK Natural Beauty. I mean, I was the first Indian Muslim to win it. Yeah, so like big up,
right,
big
can we
up.
just?
Hi, Nessa.
I apologize to interrupt, but can we just like give a massive shout out
Yeah,
with regards to that? Like, can you just run us through that in a bit more detail? Like, how did you apply? Like your winning moment? Like you're my inspiration in terms of because you did it the year before me, and you encouraged me to
yeah, yeah.
apply and win the thing. So like, tell me about your
Yeah,
experience with the whole thing.
and I think that's the kind of bond we share, and thanks for Hannah. I really appreciate that. Like, I definitely got that bond when we both won Top Model UK. I mean, I feel like I always want my friends to be successful, and I'm not bitter that way. I feel like I want whoever's around me to kind of like thrive in those moments because me being up on stage when I won, it was like. I was like, wow, this is my time, this is my moment, and I absolutely loved it. It was great. So the way that I got into it was actually I had found it through this app called Star Now. Okay, and it's just this app where you pay about, I don't really remember how much you pay, but it's like a subscription. Okay, like it's like a costing subscription. You pay every month, like 20 quid or something like that, and you get to see all of the jobs that are running and things like that. So honestly, like I saw this top model thing, and I got invited actually. I didn't apply. They saw my profile and they were like, you know what, try out. So I was like, you know what, like, I'm not doing anything. So let me just, why not? And I don't know where that confidence came from, honestly, because people think by my Instagram I'm like this confident and like this diva, but honestly, like inside, like I get really scared, and I was bullied a lot in school, so I'm shy. I'm scared. I can be timid sometimes, but I went for it anyway. I was like, you know what? Who cares? I can say that I tried. So I applied. They accepted. I went to the casting and everything. I walked. And then we were put into categories, which was great. I mean, like I'm not 6 foot, and I'm never gonna be. So I felt like that kind of puts my chances down to like, it puts my chances down. Like I can't be like, those runway models or whatever. So I was put into this natural beauty category, and then there was like commercial, and then there was like men's, and you had like your 5 6 categories. So I was put into natural beauty, and at first I was a bit like, I really want to go like international, like why natural beauty, like like but then I was like, okay, you know what, doesn't matter, let's see where this goes. get to the finals and everything, and then it's like a huge shebang. Like there's like a show, and then there's like people, and like you're getting dressed and makeup and hair, and like it's all happening, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm gonna have to like walk this ramp in front of like hundreds of people, and I was really scared, but I'm so glad that I invited a couple of my friends, and they were there, and yeah, it was a good experience. And then I walked my walk, and I know for a fact, not being modest here, I do have a very splendid walk. So, from like all the other like Asians and stuff who, I feel like I got a really good walk, and I think that's what definitely won it for me. Besides my face, my very lovely face, I feel like, that's what did it for me. Knowing a walk, and owning that runway, it is so important. I see models these days, I mean, they're tall, they're 6 foot, good for you, but they can't walk. And that's where the real issue stems from. If you don't know how to walk a runway, learn. Learn. There are many ways, that you can learn, and then there's a lot of things you can do to be on that runway. And I'm 5'7". I mean, for those of you who think I'm tall and I'm a runway model, no, I'm 5'7". I'm considered short. I walked that runway and I won. I won that natural beauty top model category, and it was the best feeling ever. Yeah, woo! Like honestly, like I couldn't believe it. I felt like I shot from here to
I still
here,
remember
and
seeing your Snapchat from the moment that you won, and I was like, "Oh my God, she's won top model UK." That could be
yeah, yeah, I couldn't
um,
believe the first two people I called was my mom and my dad, and they were sleeping because like I was in London, they're in Hong Kong. I was like, you got that 7 hour gap, like but I called anyway, and I was like, yeah, mom, dad, like I went top on the UK. My dad was like, no way, like no way, like oh my god, my daughter did it, and it was amazing because I was like,
best
oh my
feeling.
god, like I'm the first female Asian Muslim to win it. There was no
I
racism. There was nothing. I felt like I got an equal shot, and I won my shot.
I just want to, on this point, I want to give a shout out to Lucid Queen, who's in the chat. I did a live with her last week. One of
Oh,
my
great.
friends, and she's just like really complimentary to you on the comments. But she actually asked a question specifically for you, which I think we'll touch upon according to what you said. Is that how did you find it as a female and a brown female breaking into the industry was one of the questions that she asked earlier on. But at the same time, to add to that, I'm going to add the other sort of envelope to it with regards to, as you say, you're not 6 foot tall, and that's something I can relate to, right? So, like, and I think again, this is why you and I connect so much because we're not cookie cutter, we're not 6 feet tall,
Yeah,
we're not your typical European faces, but I felt you and I didn't particularly fit into the Asian market either, right?
definitely.
That's
That's where I mean. That's where our bond comes from. I feel like and
Yeah, so
that's
I feel
where it
we,
comes
we're
from.
kind of that in between, like which kind of works to our advantage because when you're in between, you can go to either side. But the disadvantage is when you're not set in either, then sometimes neither if you want them, right? So,
Yeah.
so can you just let us know and let everyone know how did you find it breaking into both the Asian and the mainstream industry, being female and obviously being brown, being coming from not being born and brought up in the UK even. So how did you find it breaking into that?
You know, luckily I grew up very thick-skinned. Like, you know what? Yeah, I was bullied and called ugly, and I mean, I was even called a terrorist in school. It sucked. It really,
This is in
really
Hong Kong,
sucked.
right?
And yeah, this is in Hong Kong. Believe it or not, this is Hong Kong, guys. This is the way I grew up. And I thought, you know what, like I needed a change. And I went to London, and I was like, you know what? London, Hong Kong, India, I'm gonna be brown either way. It's not changing. So how do I embrace this? So I was like, okay, I'm going to India. I mean, there's a lot of white people around me. There's a lot of European people around me. Okay, what's different about me? And that's what I basically took on board a lot. I feel like I was like, you know what, I can't change being Indian, and neither do I want to. I'm proud to be an Indian, and I'm proud to be from India, and I like it that way. But it was hard. it is hard. It's a hard industry. It's already a hard industry. I mean, the fashion industry is cutthroat. I mean, I've got people coming to me all the time like, oh, how do you be a model? And it's like, you know what? It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Like, I'm not going to give you like this, breezy story about it being easy because it was really hard for me. I'm up against 6 foot white models with a jawline that could like cut your face. I was gonna say
Yeah.
a bad word. And like, it's hard. I've got all these tall, beautiful models around me that I have to compete with, unfortunately. So I've got to be cutthroat. The casting director's got to be cutthroat. The industry's got to be cutthroat. So how do I fit in? So, I mean, I was like, okay, well, again, I can't get taller into 24, I mean, I'm 24 now, but at that time I was like 20 years old, 19 years old. I'm not going to grow anymore, so what do? Nothing. I literally just went to every casting I could. I went to every casting I could. I wore my 6-inch heels and was like, walk that damn runway. And I did. And I've done about 16 shows, 16 map shows now. And I feel like I do want to hit the international market a lot more. I'm a bit bored of the Asian industry. That's my honest truth. I feel like London has been, it's been taken over by, Pakistan Fashion Week, India Fashion Week, Asian Bridal Gallery. But you know what? Like, I'm interested in high fashion. That's where my head at. My head is at high fashion. And I don't want to fit into the brown industry because I'm brown. I want to fit into the industry as a whole, being brown. So there's like a difference. So there's many challenges. I mean, everybody has their own challenges. I mean, the white model, they're too white. European, they're too tanned. I'm too brown. Like,
Exactly.
everybody's just gonna have their problems. But,
Exactly.
it's how you take the industry into your grip, and and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go forward. This is how I look. This is how I am. You take it or you leave it. And then a lot of people somehow they like that attitude. They're like, okay, well, she's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a lot about the attitude. You've got to be thick-skinned. It's not easy. I mean, crap. Like, I mean, if you all have seen my Instagram, which you will after this live, hopefully do follow and like and keep in touch with my journey as well. But you can see that I was a lot skinnier 2 years ago, and still I was deemed fat. It's ridiculous. And I never decided to lose weight or anything. I was like, you know what, like, I don't understand. I'm
Can I just
I'm a 26 waist inch with like
can I just
34
say this
boobs.
reminds
How
me
smaller do you want me to be?
this
And I was
reminds
like, you
me
know
of
what,
an
that's not the
incident.
right fit for
I
me.
just want to share. I just want to share this with everyone. I remember this was like maybe 6 months into our friendship. And do you remember we used to apply to certain castings on like Facebook groups and stuff, right? And I remember you applying to one where they were looking for a curvy model. And then I'm like, I remember reading that and I actually messaged you because remember we used to have a lot of banter, right? Like, by the way, we always take the piss
Yeah,
out of each other. Like, we just like
yeah,
literally take each other so much. So I remember messaging you saying, "Why the hell are you applying? Why are you pretending to be a curvy model when you're not even a curvy model?" And because to me, you were like a stick, skinny model. So I'm like, why the hell is she
yeah,
applying to like? And I remember you turning around and saying to me, "No, I'm curvy. I'm almost considered plus size by the industry." And I was like, "You can't be for
yeah,
real because." I know you. I've seen you in person. You're slim, like you're
yeah,
skinny. Like your waist is 26. How much more like skinnier do they want you to get? And I was just like, because obviously as a guy we do have a bit of that, but not as much pressure as the women. We have other things going on. So for me,
yeah.
that was just a bit like, wow, that's intense. And I honestly
Yeah,
thought
for
you were
sure.
taking a mick.
I mean, you know what? But I love my curves. I wasn't going to lose my butt for anything. I love the way I look. And I like to be toned. Okay, like I like to be toned. Yeah, I like to be toned. I've always been a 26 waist, and this year I went to a 28. But I don't care as much. This is what people think. I care. And and yeah, I will go back to the gym and I will get toned and things like that. Cool. But with the industry now, the way it's taking a turn. You've got like black models, you've got curvy models, you've got like plus size, you've got like you've got all these different models, and it's like good for them. I'm really proud that the industry is taking that, that change, because it was hard for me. Yeah, like I would have to apply to plus size things, and I mean, I am a size 8, and I feel like, to walk the ramp, you need to be a size 0, 2, 4, 6, and I cannot be that way. I cannot be that way because, like, I am not that sort of person that has that metabolism as well. Like I cannot be that way. Like my mother's bossy, and we've got that background of having a little bigger ankles and big hips, but like the tiny waist, and that's the way it is. It's only my dad that's Muslim, so I have all my body positivity, I call it, is from my mom. Like I don't choose it any other way. Yeah, sometimes you've got that, those days where you're like, oh, I wish I was like a size 2, and like and that's only because I want the look, not because I want to look anorexic or I want to look stick thin or whatever. It's because I want the look. But you gotta realize, I mean, what matters more, your health or like modeling for Chanel? I don't really know. I mean, I
Exactly.
don't think like I'm ever going to be stick thin for a company.
That's what I always tell body models, and I've written about it on my blog, and I share it on my lives, on my stories. Like it's all great to have these goals and aspirations to be a top model and to book massive campaigns and do really well, but you have to, like, your mental health comes first and your physical health comes first. Now, if a client wants you to lose weight or an agency wants you to lose weight, fine, lose it, be motivated to lose it because you want to achieve something, but not to the point where it's going to be unhealthy for you,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And so you need to do it in a healthy way. You need to be positive about it, and you need to be realistic because not everyone's metabolisms are the same, as you say. So someone can like not eat the entire day and still not reduce their hip
Yeah,
size or their waist size. So
yeah,
it's just not for you. It's just not for you, and you need to have those realistic expectations that actually maybe a career in this industry is not for me. And if it is something that is achievable, because guys get six packs all the time when they put their mind to it and they put in the attitude and they put in the hard work and the diet and the training, etc., you can achieve it. But some people really struggle. And same
yeah,
with women too, right? And
yeah,
therefore you just know it's not for you. So you need to figure out, like, even no matter how much you want it, sometimes in this life, unfortunately, there apparently there's an echo for some reason. I'll try and sort that out in a second. But yeah, do you know what I mean? And so the other thing I wanted to say was I want to go into a bit more detail about this because both you and I have struggled a little bit with trying to fit into the Asian industry too, right? So you were talking about the mainstream here with losing weight and things like that and being a particular size. But like, first of all models have some kind of issue, right? Whether you're brown skin, whether you're white skin, whether you're short, tall, whether you're curvy, petite, whatever it is. Liz Quinn is that the echo is
is
lit while
lit whilst you're saying this.
I did, but it's quite annoying because I want to upload this on my YouTube. So if it's going to be full of echo, that's going to be super annoying. So
Great. Great for
yeah,
YouTube then.
no worries.
But
'Cause I feel
apparently
like
it's awesome to everybody, so I don't think you need to sort it out.
yeah. So sorry, I was just saying that yeah. So every model has something, right? This industry is discriminates against everything, right? It discriminates against everything. So it's not just skin color, right? It's like it's very picky. And I try and explain
Yeah.
this to people like if there's a client who or fashion brand they would have a vision of what kind of person they want advertising their things, right? So if someone wants someone who's tall and skinny and white, they're not going to take on someone who's petite and brown and curved, right? And
No.
vice versa. I think my issue is, firstly, there's not enough clients that are doing that, that are taking on more regular models, if you like. That's my issue with the whole thing, as opposed to the industry as a whole. But yeah, I just want to touch upon the difficulty because a lot of people are saying, well, okay, you're brown, so you fit into the Asian industry. So I want to touch upon that fact because we've discussed this a lot and we've had our issues with the Asian industry, right? So I want you to just tell your story, how you found the British Asian industry. This is, by the way, but even like but even in like India,
Let's go. Let's do
this is gonna
this.
be
I got a lot to say. And also,
this
yeah,
is gonna be guys,
great.
get the
And
popcorn ready because
hi
this is
to
gonna be good.
everyone. Okay, so the British Asian industry. Where do I begin? Right, you know what? Honestly, I think it is so much more competitive than a normal industry. And it is cutthroat as well. Like when I was in London, okay, like being top model and the popularity and my jokes and my personality, yes, it got me a lot of work. But you know what? I realized after moving back that the whole industry is pretty fake. It's not. I don't think I made any friends besides Naeem and Akil who just joined. I don't think I made any real friends. I think people were waiting for me to leave so they could just jump in and take my spot. And like that's what really happened. I left and everybody forgot me. Even the models, they forgot me. I came back for a show. I came back for Pakistan Property Show. I came back for another designer show. And it was back to back. I had like 3 shows on a weekend. I was busy. I was booked. It was tiring. I was flying to Hong Kong, but on the Monday, and you know, I had never felt so lonely in my life. Honestly, like because you were not there for those shows. So I didn't have you as well. Like I was just there like by myself with my little gym bag, like ready to work. And I realized people were so different with me. I felt bullied in a way that it was not direct, but it was indirect. It was like, no, screw you. Like, I don't want to be your friends anymore. You left for 6 months. So, and it's like, that's not
It
what
moves very
friends
fast,
are.
doesn't it? The industry
Huh?
moves very fast. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're just another number. Yeah,
And
you're just
Akil,
another
yeah,
number.
Akil saying the same thing. So many fakes in this industry. I mean, Akil's helped me through. I mean, just a shout out to Akil because you know what? He's helped me through my styling difficulties, my makeup difficulties. I could not be able to do this good makeup without Akil. I don't think anybody I mean, he taught me how to do good makeup. And
Who, by the way, is also my
I,
best friend in the industry.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, shout out to Akil because I feel like he was the only non-judgmental person. Like he really had my back, and as did you. And yes, indirect bullies, and I just didn't like it. It really made me feel like, oh my God, like is this really for me? Because I like to stay out of drama. And I know everybody, all women say that, but honestly, like, I really like to stay out of drama. I like to go to work and come back. That's
Yeah.
me. I like to make my dough and come back. That's it. I don't want to discuss whose panties were in a hose and who's dating who, and I don't care. I want to walk that runway and finish it off. And I just felt like even at the shows, I felt really like just because I wasn't the main model, I felt like I didn't get enough attention. I had to be like, I don't know, showstopper or show opener for someone to run behind my tail. And I've been showstopper and show opener ample of times in my life. And I have never let anybody run after me like that because why? Why do we behave that way? You know, that is yeah, good vibes. That is the problem with this industry. It's not the models also. It's the fact that it's these producers, it's these directors, it's these stylists that make it so difficult. They behave like they're on some pedestal and everybody needs to be like, oh, please give me a job, you know?
Looking down the nose upon everyone, right?
Yeah, like, please give me a job. Like, I'll do anything for you. And that's not me. Like, I cannot do that. So I just decided I'm not going to work with the Asian industry in London anymore. Because you know what? It's a waste of my time. I mean, sometimes I get people saying, like, oh, like, I can't pay you this time, but it's like,
Can we
how
please
much
get onto that
money
subject?
is Asian bridal gallery making?
Can,
How much
can,
money is, Pakistan Property Show and India Fashion Week? How much are they making? They are making, for sure, because their entry tickets are at a price. I know that for a fact. So it's
can
the
we just
fact
go
that you
into more detail? Can we go into more detail about the lack of pay, please? Because I just want to put it out there before we begin this
it's
conversation.
like you want to make me like
I,
get
I
angry on this
want
live.
I want to just put it out there before we start going in on the Asian industry. I just want to put it in there. I've walked London Fashion Week numerous times. I've done a lot of mainstream catwalk too, right? I just want to put it out there.
Love
Road
you,
magazine,
Seam. Oh, look, your brother loves me more than he loves you.
obviously. Um, anyway,
Yeah,
as I was
sorry,
saying,
carry on, go on.
um, so Vogue magazine, London Fashion Week, etc., they barely pay. So I just want to put it out there: fashion barely pays, right? If you want to make money out of modeling, you're better off getting a commercial career, booking TV commercials, booking
Right.
campaigns like that, right? So before we start blaming the Asian industry, I just want to put that out there. However, the problem with the Asian industry is there is no such thing as commercial. Like the only thing Asian industry do are bridal fashion.
Is
The
how to behave in a bridal gown. In London, flipping like every model now just puts on a gown and then they're the same face every time. I'm bored. I'm bored.
And
Like,
if you do happen to get in there, you're fine. If you happen to get in there, you will probably be in there for a few years because they use recycle the same models for at least 5, 10 years. I know
oh my
models from that
god.
are still working in these Asian shows, right? And therefore, it's really difficult for new models to come through. And what normally happens with these new models, can I just say, is that new models are hired and they get told that this time we're not going to pay you because we're going to see how you get on, and then next time we will pay you. What
Yeah.
happens next time doesn't come, and the next time it doesn't come because you're a bad model, you've done a bad job. Next time comes because they
Yeah.
decide to take new models who are willing to do it for free, and the only ones they are still using are the ones that, I mean, we're going to touch upon the whole nepotism and like having favorites and having your little old like about who you know
Yeah.
rather than what you know. And that's the difference between the mainstream industry and the Asian industry that I personally found is with the mainstream, even if they don't pay you that well, they will book you for your talent. Whereas in the Asian industry, they book you according to whether they're friends with you, whether you have a
Yeah,
connection.
and you know what? Like, I'm like, good for you. You know, because now I'm like, I can't be bothered. And yeah, Akhil's right. It depends on who you know now. And like I said, certain people don't like me anymore, so I don't get booked anymore. But again, I'm not missing out. I'm not getting paid. I mean, so does it matter? Am I gonna waste my damn time on this Asian bridal industry anymore? No. Are you gonna be stuck with the same faces? Yes. So that's on you. I mean, I feel like me and you, we take so much time feeling, down and things like that. But you know what? Like, they're not the one booking a Coca-Cola commercial like you did in Cape Town. You know? They're not the ones, yeah, they're not the ones that are being get sent big products to promote, which I am. Because it's real faces that count. And again, you know what? I don't blame the models all the time. I don't blame all them. You're getting the work, you're gonna take it. You know, but
Exactly,
don't
exactly.
pretend no.
We
But
would
do not
too.
pretend that
We
you're
would
a
too.
model, because you're not a
Yeah.
model. You're just getting booked because the stylist is your friend, or the designer is your friend, or the designer couldn't be bothered enough to hold a casting for a different model. They just thought they'd use you because you know what? You're just okay for a free bottle of water and a pizza. So,
Yeah.
and that is the truth. And I may sound harsh and I may sound mean, but that's what it is. I have not
Also,
booked
can I
work.
just say this? Sorry to interrupt. Can I just say this? How can I say this without sounding really bitter or catty? But remember when we went to a certain Asian show and we watched it and we didn't make it to the actual show and we saw the models walk. And this is a very big show, like a very big show, Asian show, right? That we really wanted to be part of. And I remember
Oh, so sorry.
watching the show and thinking, wow, how did these models make it onto the ramp? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying I have the most amazing walk. I mean, we both won Top Model UK. People know we have freaking amazing walks, but I won't go on about it. But you know, I
I'm
think one
very
thing,
open, okay? Like, here's the
but
thing, like, I'm sorry, guys, I just, like, kicked my ring light. Like, yeah, and you guys are laughing and stuff, and I'm glad you find it funny, but it is true. I'm not kidding. Like, these models are not models, and I have worked so damn hard to be where I am, to not be booked because I didn't kiss ass of the stylist or the designer didn't like me. I'm not there to be liked. I'm there to shoot your gowns, your bag, or your makeup, whatever it may be. And yeah, and I did. And I'm not gonna take that away from me because I did have a good walk. But again, who is getting my work? Women that cannot walk, women who are best friends with the stylist or the designer, women, and they're not getting paid. All of y'all think, oh, I wish I could be her. She's on the cover of Asian Bridal. She's not getting paid, okay? Like, no one's getting paid, my friends. This is how the Asian industry works. You don't get paid, but you get liked. And do I care about being liked? No. Like, simple as that. So if I'm not getting paid and you don't like me, I really don't care. Like, that's the honest truth.
I remember when I first started, I was like, I want to get into India Fashion Week, I want to get into Pakistan Fashion Week, I want to get into all of these shows. And then, like, you do one or two of them, and then you're just like, it's the same thing
You're not
again and
valued.
again.
You're not valued
You're
enough
not
as a
valued.
person.
I'm not really
And as
getting
soon as the
paid.
celebrity walks in, the celebrity, like the nose up in the air, and I've got 100,000 followers. Everybody is just running after that model, and it's like, no, you are a brand, you are a company. You've got to make sure your other 20 models get dressed as well. Like, you're not getting paid anymore to kiss ass of the celebrity. You've got to be mature and realize that this is work.
There's some. I mean, Shadia was supposed to. I don't know if you remember Shadia, the same Bengali
Yeah,
model, lovely.
she's friends on
And I
Facebook
was,
with
it's
Nisha. Yeah, I love her.
I
She's
think
great. She's really
she's probably stuck at
normal.
work, but I remember her telling me a story when she walked for a very top Indian designer, and I think it was during one of these big South Asian fashion weeks. She had these celebrities and these top models that are like usually the showstoppers or the ones that open the shows, literally come and rip a dress off her body, saying, "I'm wearing that." She was ready to step onto the catwalk, and they literally ripped the dress off her body and said, "I'm walking in that because I like that."
But you know what? That girl is very lucky it wasn't me. Like, honestly. And, I feel like we as models, we should put our foot down, and sometimes we don't. We get intimidated, we get scared, you know? Like, for example, right? Like, I've done work for Anita Dongre, right? Am I satisfied with her brand? No. And I will say that very openly. I was doing it for a favor for a friend because he needed models. And Anita Dongre was very selective about her models, and that's fine. Everybody's selective about their model. That's okay. She, from what I've heard, she didn't really. Well, she wasn't feeling the lineup and stuff, but she liked my face because I had a very natural face. So I decided to do it, but I didn't get paid for that. I didn't get paid by Anita Dongre or her team, Divalicious team. I did not get paid. Because they were an A-list designer, I was promised that my career would blow up and blah blah blah. And because Sonam Kapoor was there, and the thing is, I was very hesitant. But then again, I was like we said, we all have these weak moments. I was like, you know what, like, okay, I'm not doing anything on that day. Why not just go and do it? And I regret it. I was undervalued. And no one cared about my sacrifices. No one cared about my needs. I mean, who cares about models' needs anyway? We're just plastic pieces of, gunk that are just standing there in designer clothes. So, unfortunately, the lineup that I was with, the girls, they were mostly Muslim and they didn't want to show their legs. Now, my point is, this is another problem with the Asian bridal scene. You want to be a model, but you don't want to show your legs. It really gets me like in a different twist. But I was understanding. I was like, it's fine. I was picked up this beautiful, Anita Dongre gown, long gown, like I was, and I had to take it off because none of the other girls would wear the short dress. So I had to swap. And my legs weren't shaved. Because I was again told that it was supposed to be an Asian shoot. So, I mean, hey, I'm human, man. So what? I didn't shave my legs. Big deal, And just to save the humiliation of the other girl or any other girl, yeah, Farhana remembers, I'm sure a lot of people remember this, just to save the humiliation of any other girl wearing it, because I didn't have to take it off. I was asked, do you mind? I could have said, no, do one. Just to save the humiliation of the other girls, Okay, I swapped my outfit. I had to wear the short one because I was the only one that was willing to show my legs. And I ran to this bathroom. I shaved my legs. My legs were bleeding because I mean it was a crappy razor. I was just, and the stylist on set had gotten annoyed at me, and we all know who, and I was like, no, you cannot get mad at me because you had told me that this was supposed to be an Asian shoot. Why do I need to show my legs in an Asian shoot? You know? And I was like, don't even, just get out of my face. Get out of my face because I will take this dress off right now and I'm leaving. And everyone was like, no, 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 like running after me, top model and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want you to run after me because I'm top model, okay? I want you to run after me because you pissed me off. You know, you've, the other girls were just too, God knows what to wear the dress. I had to swap it, had to shave my legs. I was miserable. I was miserable. No, no, this is something different. Please, I don't wish to talk about that company and things like that. This is about modeling. Yeah, and not even a single penny was paid. Yes. So yeah, I am open about it. Anita Dongre and her team, Devalicious, did not pay. And I was not even thanked for anything that I did. And who gets the credit? The stylist, who didn't do anything. And again, open about it.
And that's the difference. That's the key. While you're reading the comment, I just want to say that's the key difference that I personally have found between the Asian industry and the mainstream one is the mainstream really value you. Like you can be like for me anyway, like you can, not get paid much or whatever, but you would always get a thank you, you would always get credited,
Hi,
you would always
Maria.
get all of the
Yeah.
posts, all of that kind of stuff. And I also just want to touch upon, the whole, someone might say, well, if you're acting like pissed off that you've had to shave your legs, or if you're acting like this way, or you've got people running after you, you're becoming a diva. But I want to tell people there's a difference between being a diva for the sake of being a diva and people saying, I'm going to walk in that dress and that dress alone, or I'm going to be showstopper, or I'm walking out the show, or I'm going to open the show, or I'm walking out, right? And just not taking bullshit, right? There's a difference between not being treated like shit and making sure you're not treated like shit. And
Yeah,
actually
and that day I was really
just
upset.
being
It's like
horrible
no
for the
one,
sake
no
of
one cared. Everybody was so interested in taking photos with Sona. No one cared how I felt, because no one cares. At the end of the day, no one cares. They care. Are they on the front page? And did they get a photo with Sonam Kapoor? And again, I don't care about celebrities, and I actually don't care about Bollywood celebrities either. I feel like so much nepotism. We save that for another day. But there's so much nepotism in the Bollywood industry. It coincides with the nepotism in the Asian industry in London. So I don't care for people like that. The right company and the right brand will value me, and I know that. Because I'm a very hardworking person. Like I said, I mean, who does that? Who swaps their dress and runs to shave right before like a ramp? Who does that? No one else did it. I don't see any of those girls. Okay.
this is the British Asian industry. So I want to know your experience with the industry in India.
I remember.
And whether you've had any work in India and how do you find the models and the fashion industry there? Is it that different to what you've experienced in the Asian industry in the UK?
You know what? I feel like it's just as bad. Like with India, I feel like, okay, you know what, in the UK, no one's gonna ask you to sleep with them, they're just not gonna pay you. Over here, they ask you to sleep with you. That's also, I booked a lot of work. I booked movies as well, don't get me wrong. But the only problem was, like, I was supposed to do things I would not do, like sleep with the director or get naked.
So
Like,
because you hear about a lot of that, the casting couch in India and Pakistan. So would you say that is true? Because I've not really come
it
across
is
it much
true.
in the
I
UK.
mean, come on. I was supposed to, I was supposed to publish a story with a journalist, which was supposed to come out in the newspapers and everything. But the other model from Pakistan, she backed out. And I'm still stuck with an empty story because I can't just give my own, like my own story. I needed another model to kind of, back me up as well. And I've been looking for a model ever since. just to get that story out, because that story is so important. My God, it's just, what, people won't step up.
That's how it should
Yeah.
be. And I think once you're
Yeah.
content and as long as you've got the passion and the motivation, which you do have, and then I feel like, Luther Kuhn is mentioning this, it's all about energies too, right? Like I think the energies that you give out, and if you're motivated, confident, then the right people will come to you. And if anyone doesn't want to work with you, it's a reason why they might not want to work with you, and that's on them, not
Yeah,
on
yeah,
you.
I completely agree. I mean, like, come on, I got signed in Cape Town as well. I just didn't get to go because of COVID and like all these things, and I definitely do want to do that with you, because I feel
Can I
like you
just
could bring.
can I just give you a shout out, please, and just say this, how we kind of started together and, we talk about the models that are still being used in the Asian industry, and kudos to them because they found a niche, they found a market and it's working for them. But can I just can I just blow our trumpet and say how we've gone international?
Yeah, we have. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm very, very proud of us to do that. I mean, honestly, like if I was stuck in London continuing to wear bridal gowns, I think I would have lost my complete nut. So you know what, like I'm happy. Like again, I don't think that the designs are bad. I just wanna make this clear. Like the gowns are beautiful, the ramps are nice, like but the industry, the people as a whole, it's toxic. It's not something that I'd like to work in. If I felt a bit more respected, if I was paid what I'm owed, I think I would do a few shoots and things like that. But until that change comes into play, I don't think Asian bridal is my scene. I like the fact that I'm international. I've worked in, Europe, South Africa, Hong Kong, and like India. Like I like the fact that I've gone international and have always been international. So I want to continue that, definitely.
Can I just ask you about your experiences in Hong Kong, actually? Because I know you mentioned growing up there, you suffered a lot of racism and abuse and bullying. And so, what is the modeling industry and the fashion industry like there?
So, okay, here's the thing. I feel like, again, it is not very raw. I feel like it's very mainstream. You've got your Chinese and your white. That's it. And they're getting all the work. You'd never see me in harbor cities, like, walls spread and stuff. You'd never see me there because I'm just not what they're looking for. They're looking for white models. And they're looking for Chinese models, and I can't compete with that. I cannot compete with that. I mean, I've tried. I've done a couple of commercials. I've done a couple of adverts and stuff like that, and I did get paid really well because Hong Kong is good for pay. They do pay well. That is one thing that I admire. And obviously, I run my little company out there as well. Obviously, it's an international company as well, but it started in Hong Kong. So obviously, I worked with a lot of models and to get content out, and a lot of models that don't get the opportunities to get their content out. And I worked with a lot of photographers and stylists that are not in that trend, because again, Hong Kong runs on nepotism like crazy. Like, and the way it works, it's really hard. So my company, obviously, Imagenics, like we basically run photo shoots. I run photo shoots. I run a little direction house. It's an online direction house. I bring together a bunch of talents. We shoot content. We've got a few hours of the day, and it gets published in magazines. So far we've been published in like Vogue Italia, like the online photography spread. We've been published in Salsi magazine, I think 2 years ago, in their June edition, and it's been really good. So I'm very good at that. Like, I mean, I don't always have to be the face of everything. I really admire helping other models and photographers and stylists to kind of like get their work out there and stuff.
I just wanted to ask you with regards to, I mean, I was also just going to say that it's that you need to, everyone who's watching this who wants to go into modeling or the fashion industry, you need to know your markets, right? Where you're going to sell. And so you recognize the fact that Hong Kong isn't really going to work for you because you're neither white, neither you're Chinese. Yeah, you're kind of, so what's the market that works for you? And what we were saying, I think South Africa would work really well for you if and when we get to do that together, because it worked well for me because there aren't as many brown faces, and there's certainly no brown faces with a British accent. So as soon as you open your mouth and they hear like, oh, you've got a slightly foreign accent, you're
Yeah.
brown, And on top of it, you're a model, you're commercial, you could do fashion. Like it just opens up a lot of doors. But if I was to go and model in Paris or Milan, I wouldn't work. Or if I came to
No, you
Japan,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't work.
Again, you know what the thing is? You have to be big enough now for people to want you. So I think it's about the market that you kind of like slip into. Like, so I'm trying to slip into the Indian market and the South African market. And, I'm trying to get my online presence going. Because I feel like if my online presence started going, then maybe, other people would like be like, okay, you know what, like she's different, or she looks different, or she has this look, or she's got curves. Like somebody will pick up,
Actually, that was going to be my next question with regards to what can we expect in the future from a Sheikh? Like, what?
You know what, like honestly, like now that I've set up, you see this little setup, like my ring light, my little, and I think it's really great. So I'm just going to continue creating content. I have a couple of products lined up for me to promote and stuff like that. Modeling and acting, I don't really know. If it comes to me, it comes to me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I am making enough effort, and it's like a rolling ball, like like the ins and the outs, and you've got all that going on. So I feel like an international market is definitely more suited to me. I wouldn't say like I want to be definitely in the Indian market or I want to be in the South African market. Like no, it's not that. I think I want to be in an international market where I can travel and kind of create content, influence, promote, and like model at the same time if I
And
can.
where you will be valued, most of all, where you will be valued, right?
Yeah.
Where people are going to treat you with respect, you're going to get good work, and yeah, and your agencies and your clients, they love you for what and who you are, and not simply and for your talent, and not just simply for the fact of nepotism or people that or the stylist, or the client personally. It's just all about talent. I want to kind of start finishing off now because I think Instagram's going to cut me off at about an hour.
It's
So
been
if
an
anyone
hour
has
and I can't believe it's been an hour.
Look, if anyone has any further questions, I think we ran through most of the ones that came to the DM. So if anyone who's still watching and wants to ask any questions, please do so now. And anything you want to add, Zara, at all about your career, just about you generally, or any advice, tips before we finish off?
Yeah, I'm honestly covered a lot of stuff. Like the same thing. You guys have my Instagram now, like names, followers. Like you guys kind of know like where I'm coming from, and you have my Insta handle. Drop in a question, like, follow. I mean,
Can you also just mention the name of your creative company Instagram too, please, for
yeah. So it's
everyone?
called Imagenics Asia. The link is in my like the tag is in my bio. You can follow it through there. Check out some of my work. You ever need a shoot, you ever need a creative director, like I'm here to help.
At Lucid Queen has asked, Muslim culture in your family, did that ever get in the way of your career and your
No,
modeling
because
job?
my dad is only Muslim, my mom is Parsi, and my dad is very relaxed. He is my best friend. He has supported me in so many different ways. I really don't care about my further Muslim family, what they say, what they talk about. It really doesn't matter. As long as I am respecting myself, I am respecting my dad. Like, that's what matters. He's very on board, and he sees all the work that I do. Any bikini photos he ignores. So yeah, that's it. Like, he just ignores it. Like he comments on all the normal stuff, and then when it gets a bit like PG, he'll be like, I'm signing off. And that's okay. It's my dad. So yeah,
And can we
no,
also just
I'm
put
good
it?
that way.
I mean, we also have obviously had some haters in the comments and stuff, and I just want to put it out there that, if you shoot in a bikini or if you shoot, where you're showing a bit of leg or whatever, that does not make you a porn star.
You know what?
Just
Porn
in case you
stars
need a
make
definition of a porn
crazy
star,
money though. So you know what? Like I think, yeah, you know,
if
thanks,
you
man.
if you
Like
if you really want to know the definition of porn star, a porn star who actually performs the act on camera for money.
I
Okay?
don't even know who that guy was, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I definitely don't really care. I really don't care what people think of me. I haven't come this far, for to just stop because somebody called me a porn star. I think it's rather flattering because porn stars are very hot and they make a lot
You know
of
what I mean?
money. They make triple, quadruple I make in a day. So, if you think
Like,
I'm a porn star,
I would very
then
much take it as a compliment to be compared to a porn star without actually having to do porn. Is that
Yeah,
the best of both
like
worlds?
yeah, like it's not for
Basically, I
me,
look at
but
men
good
do.
for the porn stars. You know, I'm good for the strippers. I love a good strip club. You know, so I don't really care. It's just each to their own. I respect Islam a lot. Like at the end of the day, Islam is my religion. I respect it. I really again don't care because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, you're Muslim. You don't look like it. Why you got a cross on? And like I'm gonna get all those comments. But you know what? I don't care. I am Muslim. My name is Zahra, Sheikh, and I respect that religion. And I don't really, I don't tell people what they should do in terms of what they should wear. I just tell them whatever you want to do, be happy. Do whatever you want to do. I know it's difficult. It's going to be difficult choices. I mean, even for you, like, your parents were not so on board on it. Now, Feme always makes those funny jokes. Like, there's only one haram child in the family. And it's hilarious. So I just feel like it's the way in which you go about it. I feel
Yeah,
like as long as, like,
absolutely.
your parents are on board and, maybe if they're not on board, maybe you've got to do your thing. Sometimes you've just got to do your thing.
And
Like
the thing,
it sucks.
see, my parents are not. Like, my dad is fine. He's cool. He's indifferent to everything anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
My mother, she's not able, but I mean, as you can see, like, if you look at my background, like, look, I've got the Ayatul Kursi there. I've got the good shoes there. Like, my faith is very important to me, guys. Like, my faith is very
Yeah,
important to me. Even when
yeah,
I'm on shoots and you see me when I'm on set, I will nip out to go pray because my faith is very important, right? So, and again, people presume that if you are willing to walk in swimwear or do shoots like that, then that you can't be strong in your faith, or you can't have certain, because everyone
yeah,
has the limitations and everyone has their boundaries and stuff, and you've got to do what makes you happy and stay true to yourself. Like, again, it's what we were saying before, being called a porn star, that people assume that if you model a certain way or whatever, which, by the way, neither of us have done any kind of glamour modeling, like it's swimwear, for God's sake. And people assume if you
yeah,
do that, then you must be sleeping with the directors or the clients, or if that's what you're doing on camera, what are you doing behind the scenes? And it's just such a huge stereotype. And don't get me wrong, that shit probably, like I say, this casting couch does happen in some places around the globe, but that depends how you are as a person, right? Are
yeah.
you going to do it
I
yourself? Are you going to put
completely
yourself in
agree.
that
Like
situation?
I agree
And
with that for sure.
yeah, so I think we'll end it there. I think that was a great
Yeah, I
chat.
will. We will do another one.
I think we have to, because we had so many people tune in. Like, I'm actually really shocked at how
Yeah,
many
like
people
I'm
tuned
actually
in.
really happy like with the turnout as well. And just keep supporting us guys. Like it's really hard like to make content, and obviously with the content creators out there and stuff like that, it is very competitive. So I mean, I know, not many people are like interested in watching in an hour and things like that, but you know what? It does not hurt to come in, say hi, ask a question, give a like, subscribe to Naeem's YouTube channel, and I haven't started, YouTube and things like that yet. Maybe I will. I feel like Naeem's doing good with it, so maybe that's my inspiration. Yeah. Oh, hi, mom. And my stepmom just came online to say
Oh,
hi, so I was
cute.
like,
Hi, Mom. Nice
hi.
to meet you.
Yeah. So just keep supporting, guys. It's really hard to make content, and it's tedious.
Zara, thank you so much. This was fantastic. One of my besties from the industry. Thank you so much. And yes, we're definitely going to do this again. But look after yourself. I look forward to any content that's going to be coming out. Guys, please give her a follow.
Definitely.
Give her creative content page a follow, and give her personal Instagram a follow too. And
Ask me questions.
listen,
Bye. See you
take
guys
care, y'all.
later.
Bye. So, guys, that was my live with Miss Sheikh. I hope you guys enjoyed that all. It was fantastic. I'm just gonna if you guys have any questions, then leave them in the comments below, and then I can, or Miss Sheikh can always reply back to them if you did miss this and you're not watching this on my YouTube. So I just want to say thank you to everyone tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Naeem Drop. Please follow my Instagram, which is also Naeem Drop, and my blog, www.naemedrop.com/blog. And I will be back with a live very soon. And also not to forget my Male Model Mondays, where every Mondays I will be uploading quick snippets, quick videos of sort of tips and tricks about the modeling industry and being a male model in the industry. So stay tuned for that, guys. Until then, peace and love, and I'm going to be signing out.